The night shift. Marcus had been cleaning office buildings for 15 years, but he'd never experienced anything like what happened that rainy Tuesday night at the Meridian Corporate Center. It was nearly midnight when he swiped his keycard and pushed through the glass doors, his cleaning cart squeaking behind him. The lobby was eerily quiet except for rain drumming against the windows. He'd planned to listen to his usual podcast while working, but his earbuds were tangled beyond repair. "Guess it's just you and me tonight, old building," he muttered, pressing the elevator button. The elevator rose smoothly until it suddenly jerked to a halt between floors. The lights flickered ominously. Marcus pressed buttons frantically, but nothing responded. Just as he was considering using the emergency phone, the elevator lurched upward again, stopping at the 15th floor with an unsettling ding. The office space stretched out before him in darkness. Motion sensors triggered harsh fluorescent lights as he moved, creating islands of brightness that faded behind him like dying stars. He began his routine, emptying trash bins, wiping down surfaces, when something caught his attention. Mr. Davidson's corner office door, which was always locked after hours, stood slightly ajar. Marcus approached cautiously. In his 15 years on the job, Davidson's office had never been unlocked during the night shift. He pushed the door open and stepped inside. Moonlight streamed through the large windows, illuminating a scene that made his blood run cold. Papers were scattered across Davidson's normally pristine desk. Financial documents stamped with red embezzlement warnings lay next to photographs of Davidson with unfamiliar men. A newspaper clipping caught his eye. Local businessman reported missing. Marcus picked up one of the photographs. Someone had circled a man's face in red ink and written below it, "He knows." That's when the office door slammed shut behind him. He spun around and rushed to the door, but the handle wouldn't budge. Panic rising, he pounded on the door and shouted for help, but his voice only echoed in the empty building. The lights suddenly died, leaving only the red glow of emergency lighting. In that crimson darkness, Marcus heard something that made his skin crawl, a scratching sound coming from inside the walls. It moved along the wall like something clawing its way through the drywall. He fumbled for his phone's flashlight, and when the beam hit the wall, he nearly dropped the device. Fresh scratch marks were gouged deep into the drywall, spelling out a message. He saw everything. The scratching grew louder, more frantic. It was coming from everywhere now. The walls, the ceiling, as if something was desperately trying to claw its way out. His phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Room 1247. Come alone. Or join Davidson." A heavy thud echoed from the floor above, followed by the sound of footsteps pacing back and forth. But Marcus knew the 16th floor was supposed to be empty, under renovation. Then, through the air vents, came a voice, distorted and barely human. "He cleaned up our mess." The office door suddenly clicked open. Marcus didn't hesitate. He grabbed his card and ran toward the elevator, every office door behind him opening in sequence like dominoes falling. The elevator doors opened immediately, and he stumbled inside, gasping for air. As the doors began to close, he caught a glimpse of a figure standing in Davidson's office doorway, impossibly tall and unnaturally thin, watching him with what might have been eyes. Marcus frantically pressed the ground floor button, but the elevator had other plans. It descended past the lobby, past floors he didn't even know existed, finally stopping at B2. Another text appeared on his phone. "Room 1247 is in the basement, we're waiting." The elevator doors opened to reveal a maintenance corridor Marcus had never seen before. At the far end, a door marked 1247 stood ajar, flickering light spilling from within. From inside that room came a voice, familiar and desperate. "Marcus, Marcus, is that you? Help me, please." It was Davidson's voice. Marcus stood frozen in the elevator doorway. He could hear his heart pounding in his ears. The smart thing would be to let the doors close and try to get back to the surface. But what if Davidson really was down there, hurt and needing help? The elevator doors began to close, and Marcus had to make a choice. He chose to step out. The corridor stretched before him like a throat waiting to swallow him whole. Each step toward room 1247 felt like walking deeper into a nightmare. The voice called out again, more urgently. "Please, Marcus, they're coming back." When Marcus finally reached the door and pushed it open, he found a room that shouldn't have existed. Inside, Davidson sat tied to a chair, but something was wrong with his face. It was too pale, too still. His eyes followed Marcus but never blinked. "Thank you for coming," Davidson said, but his lips didn't move. "Now you know what we know. Now you can help us clean up the mess." Marcus tried to back away, but the door had already closed behind him. Around the room, other figures began to emerge from the shadows, people he recognized from missing person reports, all wearing the same unblinking stare. "Welcome to the night shift," they said in unison. "The shift that never ends." The lights went out, and Marcus's screams echoed through the basement corridors until they too were swallowed by the darkness. Some say the Meridian Corporate Center still operates normally during the day, but if you're ever there after midnight and you hear the sound of a squeaky cleaning cart echoing through empty hallways, don't look for the janitor. Because Marcus isn't cleaning anymore, he's recruiting. They found a new janitor the next week. He lasted 3 nights before he disappeared too. The pattern continues because some messes are too big to clean up alone. And in room 1247, they're always looking for more help.